Get ready.
Hello, and welcome to the Ident Review, the show where we have a good look and chat about the various television idents that we have come to know and love over the years. And for this instalment, we'll be continuing our look at the ITV Creates initiative, as we delve into the idents that graced our screens in the month of March 2019. So ITV Creates enters its third month. Over January and February, we've taken a look at many of the new creations from various artists, with many of them being superb from a concept and design point of view. So let's see what the artists of March can deliver to audiences. Starting with our first of the day, Alex Stevens.
Good morning, and as a new week dawns, we have another fresh look on ITV with resident artist Alex Stevens taking on the challenge. To find out more, search ITV Creates for all the details. Now though, time for all the latest from the Oscars with Piers and Susanna. Here's Good Morning Britain to help kickstart your Monday.
Davina McCall and Nikki Campbell are here tonight with a one-off long-lost family special using DNA to find the answers to lifelong questions. Born Without Trace is at 9 o'clock. But now back and raring to go, it's Philip and Holly with This Morning. The biggest game show in the world is back here on ITV for 5 nights only, and yes, Jeremy Clarkson is the man with the questions. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire starts next Monday at 9. Now though, time to join the ladies this lunchtime for your Mondays. Loose Women. Find out what happens when 5 celebrities eat nothing but junk food for 21 days. Brand new, the Junk Food Experience, Wednesday at 9. Well, from junk food to some cultural classics now as we join James Martyn on his Great British Adventure.
Are things getting out of control between Debbie and Kane? We're about to find out in our Monday evening visit to Emmerdale.
Okay, well I've got to say, to start this off, I'm feeling quite underwhelmed. Now to talk about the positives, I really like the whole wood carving motif that Stevens has gone for, and for the different light angles projected on it, it gives it quite a nice effect. But beyond that, nothing really happens. Granted, yeah, we still get a small clip of him piecing the logo together, but it just seems minimalistic to the point of someone just piecing a few things together and then saying, alright, that's that then. I feel this ident set would have benefited hugely from just something extra being added to it. Not even anything necessarily wacky or big, just something more than what we have. So, sadly not one of my favourites, but I'm sure it will have its fans. Now then, for our next artist of the day, let's take a look at the work of Charlie Peters.
Good morning. As a new week dawns, we have another fresh look on ITV with resident artist Charlie Peters taking on the challenge. To find out more, search ITV Creates for all the details. Now it's time to kickstart your Monday with Good Morning Britain.
The Coronation Street siege continues tonight as Shona faces the mother of all choices. We're in Weatherfield at 7:30 and 8:30. In fact, the actress who plays Shona, Julia Goulding, joins Philip and Holly now with PPI and Dancing on Ice, also on the menu for today's This Morning. There's amazing scenery and delicious cuisine as James Martyn visits the southeast in the county of Kent in his Great British Adventure at 2. Wait till you see his bread and butter pudding with cherry compote. Yummy. Monday lunchtime now with The Loose Women. The Kyle Files return with a new series investigating landlords who offer free accommodation in return for sex, tonight at 8. And we're off to the southeast now as James Martyn continues his Great British Adventure. It may seem easy when you're sat watching at home, but it's a different thing entirely when you're under those blazing studio lights and standing in front of Warwick Davis. Let's see how today's contestants get on playing Tenable.
See, now this for me is minimalism that works amazingly well. The first one surprised me a little, being that the final image seems so far away, but there's something very appealing about a box of colour being visible far away in a vast array of blackness. The others are more close up, and it's hard to tell, but it almost looks like there's an element of a classic TV test card within the artwork, which I think is really nice, and if so, it's a nice nod to television history. The random splash of colours still manages to look gorgeous to the viewing eye, and again, it's nice to see Peters actually in various stages creating her artwork. Overall, for as strange as this one might seem, I really do enjoy it. It's colourful, brimming with detail, and doesn't need to do a lot to get the imagination thinking. Right then, moving onwards to our next featured artists, we have the Idents born from the mind of Isabel and Helen.
Well, good morning everyone, and as a new week dawns, we have another fresh new look here on ITV with resident artists Isabel and Helen taking on the challenge. To find out more, search ITV Creates for all the details. Now, time to join the team to kickstart your Monday on Good Morning Britain.
Get ready for your new obsession. Our brand new edge of your seat drama, Cheat, starts tonight at 9 on ITV. And its star Catherine Kelly is in the studio with Philip and Holly now, on Mondays this morning. Ben Shepherd will be firing up the machine as more contestants play Tipping Point at 4 o'clock. But now on ITV, Mark Wright tells us why he left his life in the LA sunshine behind as he joins the Loose Women. Our brilliant new drama, Cheat, starts tonight at 9 on ITV and continues across the week. But right now, we're in the courtroom with Judge Rinder.
I can't wait to get gripped by that new drama, and it all begins tonight at 9, continuing till Thursday every night at 9 here on ITV. That's new Cheat. Time now, though, to find out if Pete can win back Rona in Emmerdale.
A very interesting concept design, that's for sure. So it seems very simple. The fact that several white spheres being held by string help give the ITV logo some animation when knocked against each other. And when looking at it, both when it's static and when it's moving slightly, I must say it's very satisfying to watch. Like it should be on one of those mindfulness or relaxation compilations. Aside from that central gimmick of the spheres knocking each other around, there's not that much more to say here. I would be partly tempted to say that a splash of colour might have added to the overall theme, but the more I think on it, ultimately the use of just black and white creates a wonderfully stark image that works well enough. So overall, a very good effort from Isabel and Helen. Nicely handled, ladies. So now let's crack on to the next artist in our list today, and that artist is Barty Palmer.
Good morning from us all here at ITV, where we've another fresh look for you this week with resident artist Barty Palmer taking on the challenge. To find out more, search ITV Creates for all the details. But now, with all the very latest news from around the world, it's your Mondays. Good morning, Britain. The Kyle Files is back tonight, looking at the UK's relationship with booze. That's here at 8. But now, in his day job, it's your Mondays, Jeremy Kyle. Can they get it together for one last big match? Hoping to rally the troops, we've Harry's Heroes tonight at 9. Right, I'm putting my feet up now and handing over to the Loose Women. Looking at the country's relationship with booze tonight, it's the Kyle Files at 8. Brand new cases in court now with Judge Rinder.
As Underworld's workers protest, tragedy strikes at the factory tonight at 7:30 and 8:30 in an unmissable night in Coronation Street. First, drama in Emmerdale.
Seems like March is the month of simplistic yet eye-catching designs. Like some of the others we've looked at today, on the surface there isn't a great deal to talk about. However, I do like how the handcrafted nature of this ident package does show, especially when we see Palmer piecing her creations together, and some corners look a little unpainted or unfinished, but I would hazard a guess that that may have been the intention. Overall, the pattern work and different kinds of designs is quite nice to look at, and whilst it may not be the most complex or in-depth of idents, it certainly still does retain an appeal that I'm sure some of you lot will be drawn to. Now let's move on to our last but certainly no means least artist of the day, and that particular creative is Nathaniel Fuhrman.
Good morning, and as a new week dawns, we have another fresh look here on ITV with this week's resident artist, Nathaniel Fuhrman, taking on the challenge. To find out more, search ITV Creates for all the details. Now though, time to join Susanna, Piers and the team for Monday's Good Morning Britain. This lunchtime, 80s idol Paul Young joins our Loose Women. That's today at 12:30. And with more great guests now on ITV, from Uri Geller to Roger Daltrey. Here's Holly and Philip with This Morning. A dispute with a dog owner and a breeder gets emotional in new Judge Rinder today at 2. Time for a lunchtime catch-up with our Loose Women now on ITV and guest Paul Young. It's all about that big money counter. Could you do better than our contestants? We'll find out when we play along at 4 with New Tipping Point. Overseeing more real-life cases from the courtroom now on ITV, it's new Judge Rinder.
Now on ITV, after Gareth Southgate's side got off to the perfect start by beating the Czech Republic at Wembley on Friday, can they make it 6 points out of 6 tonight? It's Montenegro v England in the Euro 2020 qualifier, live.
Well, this certainly blew the simplistic style out of the water, didn't it? This by far is the most complex looking, most intricate ident of the March batch of ITV Creates. The stripes and cobbled together towers of ITV logos give off a very cluttered but manically creative impression, and almost has a sort of Willy Wonka vibe that this is something you'd definitely see somewhere in the chocolate factory. I like how it's not just one central tower either, and that several smaller towers adorn the sides of it, almost like they are smaller towers protecting some sort of grand fortress. If I had to criticise one thing about it, it's that I'm not really a massive fan of the colour scheme Adam has decided to use, but that's honestly down to personal preference if nothing else. The pink smattered with blues and yellows just doesn't work well with me, but again, I'm sure many people would adore a colour scheme of this kind. Overall, definitely my overall favourite of the month of March, and one that I'm sure will go on to be one of my highlights of the year. So how do we summarise March of ITV Creates? Well, I think for the most part, the undying winner in terms of themes seemed to be simplicity. A lot of artists this month went for seemingly simple concepts or designs, with most of them being eye-catching or striking enough to withhold the attention of the viewing public. One thing I've discovered in between making episodes is that ITV themselves are releasing each week little interviews with the artists regarding their work, and they're only a couple of minutes long, so if you're curious, check out those behind-the-scenes videos on the ITV YouTube channel. And so we've come to the end, but before we go, the final words from our broadcaster. That was all this week for this instalment of the Ident Review. I hope you all enjoyed watching it, and we hope that you tune in next week. Be sure to check out episodes of the Now Review, which are broadcast every Tuesday evening at 8 PM. But until then, have a good week, and we hope that you join us again soon. Good night.